Joined now by Olivia Sims of the Notre Dame Eagles. Olivia, you finished with 18 points tonight. Where were you finding your success?
Down at the rim, and just what my teammates could give me was a big help.
How much did it help you, having been in this situation a season ago against a big-time opponent in Canton McKinley? You came up with some big shots in that game. How much did that help you this time around?
I just knew that the game wasn't over and we had to keep fighting.
For you, what's it been like being a part of this group and the journey this season?
It's been so fun. We've been working so hard all season, and just getting back to states, which was our goal, and we're doing it, is so awesome.
In your mind, what was the biggest thing that turned things around in that fourth quarter?
Our defense. Hannah Miller with Kylie Griggs, she did so good. I think she really picked up the pace for us, and which motivated all of us to get what we needed to get done.
And lastly, what was the biggest thing that you worked on during the offseason to get ready and be an even bigger part of this team coming into this season?
Just being a leader and free throws. A lot of free throws.
Olivia, thanks for your time and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. On purpose. On purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. On purpose. On purpose.
So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose.
So today on Stewart Talk, we're honored to have a special guest. Here on Stewart Talk, we're walking our purpose on purpose, and today's guest is definitely doing that. Great basketball athlete, great student athlete, one who just excelled at basketball, excelled at the game, one who had great skills, talented, and one that knows Melvin Thomas. Rest in peace, Melvin Thomas as well. One who teammates raved about her. So today we're going to talk to her, hear her journey, and allow her to be able to pour into the youth, because that's definitely what's needed, and that's what she does. And she's a great attribute to the city of Toledo, and just great overall young lady. Today we have with us the one, the only, Miss Olivia Sims. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So how did that basketball journey start for you? At what age were you when you first picked up a ball?
Oh my gosh. I have been playing, well, oh gosh, since forever. It was the only sport I played. I started AAU in 5th or 6th grade, and then just all through high school, I played varsity for 4 years, and then college. So basketball has been the only sport I've ever played. So I've been doing it for a while, a long time.
When did you fall in love with basketball, and what do you love about basketball?
You know, I had a lot of up and downs with basketball. So there were times where I did not love it, and there were times where I really did. I feel like it wasn't until obviously through grade school I loved it. You're a kid, you play with your friends, whatever, and then you get a little older, it gets competitive, and it's okay, what's the plan? Are you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until probably my junior year of high school where I really I was surrounded by a lot of great people. I had a great team around me, great coaches. And it probably wasn't until my junior year of high school where I was I really love basketball right now. And this is something I want to do through college. So I had a lot of up and downs, but it wasn't until junior year of college or junior year of high school where I was I actually do enjoy doing what I'm doing here. And for more than just, the people I was around and the benefits and everything.
Yeah, and can you tell us what high school it was that you were attending?
Yes, I went to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I played under Travis Galloway. I played with Grace Van Sluten. I played with Jayla Johnson.
I got her interview coming out too.
Oh, do you really? Awesome. Yeah, so I played with a few of the really, solid girls throughout Toledo and at Notre Dame.
Was you the one that hit the corner jump shot?
Oh God. Maybe. Was it regionals?
Yeah.
Yeah, my sophomore year.
Yeah, I do my research. That was a big shot. And Olivia, I like how you just brushed over the fact that you played varsity 4 years in a row as a freshman. That's big. A lot of people don't get varsity minutes today about a junior, but you played it 4 years. Before we go into that, what would you say to the youth that might be struggling with playing basketball and might be losing that love? What would you give them advice to handle that and how to get past it?
I feel like now that I'm a little older and I can reflect back on my journey as an athlete, I think having hobbies outside of basketball is really important because you see all these girls and myself included, like I was always in the gym. Like that is what I was doing, like period, which is totally fine. Like that gets you to like high levels, but you gotta do more for yourself, whether that's like joining a school club or volunteering, like something to just um, grow your circle or you know do something like add something to your backpack.
Yeah, yeah. And how did you handle playing at a high level on varsity and not letting it be the moment be too big?
It was hard. I struggled with confidence and um like everything that comes with being really young and being surrounded by older, more experienced girls on the court, and all that pressure, especially playing at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You know um I think just being confident in the work I put in, like that was huge. I was one of the players where I have always struggled with my confidence, but I really trusted in all the work that I put in because I spent a lot of time in the gym. And I feel like you just have to find what works for you and whatever makes you confident, like you just have to stick with that.
Yeah. What does hard work mean to you?
Ooh, hard work. Oh, it, basketball has taught me to work hard in every other aspect of my life. I'm not playing basketball anymore. I'm medically retired, but my work ethic from basketball, I think, has translated over to like my career, the internships I've had, my schoolwork. Like you just learn so many valuable lessons from playing basketball or playing any sport, regardless of what it is. And I feel like learning to work hard, like it translates everywhere.
How do you balance even now, how do you balance it? But even when you were playing basketball, how did you balance that being a teenager, being a young adult, having schoolwork, having homework, practices and all that? How did you balance that?
To be honest with you, I didn't balance it well at all. I mean, again, like I was always in the gym. Like that's all I did. Which I'm grateful for because it gave me so many amazing opportunities. But now that I'm older and I'm done playing basketball, like I've had to kind of learn about like, okay, what else do I like to do outside of the gym? I meeting people not from the basketball community or whatever. So I feel like balancing, you just have to be really intentional about putting yourself out there and getting away from basketball. Like knowing that, I go to the gym, I get my workout in, but also like I have A, B, and C going on too, and that's okay. And not feeling bad about it, because I feel like a lot of girls like feel bad when they don't, or they're not in the gym 24/7, but like that's okay. Like you can be a kid, you can be a teenager, young adult. Like it's really, you have to be so intentional about having that balance.
Yeah. And for the young athletes, maybe a senior, maybe a junior looking to go to a college, what would your advice be in picking a school? And what did you take as your advice when you picked the college that you go to now?
Yeah. So I had a really interesting journey. So I committed to college like right before COVID hit. And then COVID happened and it was just all weird. Um, but and then I transferred. So I'm at Valparaiso University right now. So this is my second school. And something that I wish I would have known before is to like when you are being recruited, meet your future teammates, meet them beforehand, get to know the vibe of the team, how they interact with each other, how the coaches interact. Like you have to like know the culture you're going into.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like too, like you have to be realistic. Not every situation, no matter the level of school, it's not going to be perfect. So you have to figure out like what works for you and be okay with that because you're not going to find the perfect situation. I also think, sorry, I just have like all these things I wish I
Go
would have.
ahead. Go ahead.
if you're not like, I was not heavily recruited. I didn't start getting recruited until my last summer of AAU. And then I committed that December. So I was not, I really struggled with recruiting and it was really stressful. But one thing that I wish I would have done more was put myself out there. So send your film, send emails, DM coaches on Twitter, follow, like do your research, like build relationships, and really put yourself out there. Because at the end of the day, like you may be a great player, but there's a lot of great players around you. So if you're the one like reaching out and trying to build that relationship with that coach, like that coach is gonna be like, oh dang, like let me look at this girl's film. Like she's been doing A, B, and C and putting herself out there. Like it's amazing. So I wish I was more outgoing. I wish I would have done my research a little more on the team culture with my first school. And then gosh, I'm trying to think, what else do I wish I would have known? And just knowing that like nothing's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna be perfect. And this is gonna be kind of controversial, but I did transfer and I have a lot of friends that have transferred and whatever. Like if you're at a school, at a situation and it's not meant for you, it's toxic or you're not playing, like something isn't lining up, like don't let anyone make you feel bad about transferring or looking at your different options. And I have one more thing to say. I'm like, ooh, I actually have a lot to say. Don't like levels of basketball. I feel like for girls, like D1 is really put on the pedestal. It shouldn't be like that because I've met girls that play D2, D3, NAI that are straight ballers. Like, if you feel like you fit better at a D2 school, but you have like D1s reach, like you have to do what's best for you. So don't let anyone make you feel bad about the level you're at or whatever. You have to do what's best for you. So
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask you that too. So you in my notes already about the different colleges and people doing that because they do struggle with that. But I'm glad you touched on something about not being happy and doing what's best for you because a lot of time people in toxic situations and they stay now is messing up their mental. You
yeah.
dealt with a situation where you had to, medically retire from basketball. How was that for you and how was your mental and how did you help handle that, like going through that process?
It was really hard. It was really hard. It was really emotional. So I played 3 years in college. This was going to be my last year. So, and I only had 4 years of eligibility. So at the end of the day, like this was going to be it anyways. And I didn't want to go play pro. So, but it was emotional because as an athlete, like you put so much of your value into your identity as an athlete. So I feel like when you get hurt, even if you're coming back and you're going to play in a couple games, but if you get hurt, if you medically retire, like it's just, you start to view things differently. You start to view yourself differently, the sport you are playing differently. And you really do have to be intentional with your mental health. Like all of that is so important. And injuries do happen, like it's life. And if you're an athlete, like you know that. But I think sometimes we focus so much on our physical health that we forget our mental health. So with injuries, like if you need to go talk to somebody because, something with your injury or your body is messing up something with your mental and you have to get some help or you need to start journaling, like you have to do that. You have to take care of yourself. And I feel like a lot of older girls know that, but you like when you're younger, high school, freshman, sophomore in college, like it's hard to navigate that water. So, yeah, did that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How do you practice self-love and making sure that you are there to pour into yourself to make sure you're strengthened, make sure your mental is together, and make sure that you're at your best? How do you practice that?
Um, when I was an athlete, I feel like I made it a priority to get away from basketball. So if I wasn't, and this is just my personal journey. So if this doesn't work for everyone else, like whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do. But when I was an athlete, like I would go to practice, I get my extra workouts in, I do my treatment, I do whatever I need to do. But when I was away from the gym or I wasn't like actively with my team or, we were traveling and then we had some me time, like I just took a break from basketball. I had to separate it because as a college athlete, like it's your job. You're doing that sport 24/7. It's really hard to get caught up in it's really hard to like forget that you're a human too, You're
Yeah.
you're on autopilot. So for me personally, like I starting my sophomore and then well, my last 2 years, like I made an effort to really make sure there was a divide from basketball live um from like Olivia Sims as my own person. So that's how I practice self-love as an athlete. Obviously that doesn't work for everybody and that's okay, but it is important to really like reflect and figure out like, okay, what do I need to do here to make sure I'm taking care of myself?
Yeah. What are you doing now as of today, even at your journey as right now?
Yeah, I feel like my biggest thing has been working out. Working out as an athlete versus working out as a person who's not an athlete anymore is really, really different. Especially because my injury was a concussion, so I've had a couple, which is why I decided to step away from basketball. So figuring out how to navigate like getting motivated to work out again.
So is it a song you go to, a go-to crunk song, a rowdy song that get you
No,
going?
you know what it is? It's just being like, you know what? If you don't go do this, you got to go 10 times harder tomorrow at the gym. Like if
Oh,
you don't
okay.
separate like and that's just my mentality, but yeah, no, that's probably my thing right now.
Yeah. What are your goals looking ahead for your career? You said you're interning.
Yeah.
And what are you looking forward to do after college?
Um, so I am a communications major. I'm looking more into like the marketing route, and I've had a lot of amazing opportunities to intern with nonprofits and at like marketing agencies, and I'm interning with my school's athletic marketing department right now. Um, so I just like am looking in that direction. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with it, but it'll work out.
Yeah, yeah. And are you trying to be the best in that field as you was
Yeah,
on the
that's the goal.
Yes, I love it.
Like once you're an athlete, that mentality, like it really transfers over. I don't think you ever really lose it.
Yeah. What advice are you getting your sisters that's and shout both of your sisters out that's young
Yes.
athletes? What advice are you giving them being that you done been in their shoes and you know their potential and you know what it takes? So what advice are you giving?
Yeah, my biggest thing is that your journey is your own. It's not gonna look like everyone else's. Comparing your recruiting journey, your stats, like all of that, like you have to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone, it's gonna look different for everyone. And honestly, like at the end of the day, sometimes you end up at the same place as the girl you're comparing yourself to. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just
Yeah.
have to focus on yourself. And I tell them that all the time. Like, you just gotta do what's best for you. And that's it, period. Like that's it.
Yeah. What would you like for your legacy to be remembered as when people think about Olivia Sims, the basketball player? What would you like your legacy to be thought of? What kind of player was you?
I feel like just that I worked hard. I was always in the gym, so I'm pretty proud of that looking back. Then also I feel like I was a supporter. I
Yeah.
played with a lot of really amazing players, like just amazing girls, um, on and off the court. And I I feel like as a player, like as a player on the court, I just knew like if you need to get the ball to score, like you just got to do it. Like I'm gonna get you the ball, you do what you gotta do. I'm on the team, like that thing. So
Yeah.
I hope I'm remembered as just someone who was a team player and who worked hard.
Yeah.
Those are important to me, those values.
Are you giving the knowledge and wisdom and passing that on to other ball players or just people in conversation? Because I notice when you talk, you light up, and I notice you're intentional when you talk, but what you're saying is much needed. So do you give that information out to people? Because a lot of people need to hear what you have inside of
Well, first off, thank you. I appreciate that.
you.
Um, I give advice when needed and when wanted. I'm not a big fan of when people give advice or give me opinions that I didn't ask for. So I try not to do that to people.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if someone like I remember last year, 2 years ago, we had some recruits on campus and I'm a big fan of honesty. I wish people were a little more honest with me when I was in the recruitment phase, you know. Um, so I try to be honest. I try to give advice when wanted and when needed. I'm always open to talk. So if anyone needs advice, like I'm open to that. But yeah, it's just whenever anyone needs anything.
Yeah. And whatever comes on your heart, can you give words of encouragement to the youth, to young ladies?
Yeah, I think, hmm, as athletes, I'm gonna give, okay, so as an athlete, I think it's really important to also recognize that you're a human being too. I that's so important. Like if you need to take a break, take a break. If you need to go talk to someone for your mental health, go talk to someone for your mental health. If you need to, you have to take care of yourself. Like you're not gonna be the best athlete you can be if you don't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like as people who aspire to be great athletes or you want to play in college or whatever, like you need to have like your why. And that sounds so cheesy, but it's so real. You need to be able to do it for yourself. Like you can't do it for anyone else. Like you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna want to quit. Like you have to find your reason to continue, and you have to do it for yourself.
Yeah. What about young college students just going to school trying to pursue a goal because that's the phase that you're on now is career, the different path like that. What would you say to those?
I would say try to get involved with your university, college, whatever. If your coach gives you the opportunity to get an internship or you have summers off and you can go get an internship, like do that. Make a LinkedIn account, you know, get network, get connected with people, like put yourself into situations where you can grow. And because, you know, sports aren't forever for some people. So you
Yeah.
have to set yourself up good. So I would say for a college athlete, like professionally, I wish I would have done this sooner, but get involved, you know, be outgoing, meet who you need to meet and continue from there.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the state of women's basketball now?
Love, 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 love the way it has grown, um the way it just has grown so much. I mean, there's nothing more to say. We have so many amazing athletes from high school. Like on my Twitter, I see these amazing like female athletes throughout the nation in high school, in college, WNBA, the pros. Like it's just amazing, and I think the growth of it is so inspiring, and um, it's just amazing to see like how far it has come.
Yeah. What do walking in purpose look like for Olivia?
Walking in purpose. Um, Gosh, I feel like for me, walking in purpose is just trusting that I will be guided to where I need to be, who I need to be with, and you know, just being a good person. I feel like I'm a college student. I don't got it all figured out. I don't know what I'm gonna do after college, like all this stuff. So for me, it's just trusting that I'm gonna end up where I need to end up and to just be a good person along the way.
Yeah. And what does family mean to you and how have they helped
Ooh.
support your journey?
Well, you know, I have sisters and my parents, my grandparents. Family means everything to me. I mean, I get like emotional talking about them. They've been so supportive throughout my whole like athletic journey, educational journey, just everything. I mean, truly like just having a support system, especially like for me, the one I have is just it's so amazing. I'm so grateful for them every day.
Yes, and how close and what does faith mean to you, and how close has it been, being that I know it's been seesaw, your faith probably whether, getting injured or,
Mm.
going through the roller coaster ride to up into present day now. What does faith mean to you and how have you allowed it to help you in your process?
Faith means everything to me. Gosh, college is hard. Aside from athletics, like, you know, we're young adults and, trying to figure out what's going on. And with college, like sports too, like college sports are hard, man. Like you don't really know until you know.
Yeah.
So for me, like I my the foundation of my faith has just given me so much strength, given me so much reassurance, even if I wasn't really feeling it. Like we all have those days, but
Yeah.
um gosh, it just means everything to me. And I mean, it has gotten me through so much just with life. I mean, it means everything to me.
Yeah, and even like with the transition, your test that you went through, the different things that you had to get over, it allows your testimony to be so much more. That's the reason we do these interviews, to see the journey of them. Because Olivia, can't nobody be you but you. Can't nobody walk in your shoes. And the things that you went through, the things that you're able to tell and share, and other people can have knowledge of it. And it's just so amazing. And I will just hope that you will continue to, share, continue to, blossom. And like you said, the main thing that I'm hearing is you don't have to have it all
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
Because, day by day, each day by day, you'll learn your process is your process, not nobody else. Comparison will have you out here feeling some type of way, mental health,
yeah,
all that stuff. So, yeah, that is very needed, and we need to keep on reiterating that to the youth for they can know that.
absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Man, it's just like one day you could be happy, one day you can be sad. It even been some top basketball players in high school that I've talked to, interviewed them, talked to their family, and the next week or months later, they don't even want to play no more. And out of
Yeah.
nowhere, the family like, what happened? Like
It's
and
a
it's
it's a grind. It's a grind. And I don't think people really like from the outside understand that. Like it's so because not only are we playing a sport and with social media and everything, like there's so much pressure and there's so much noise, but on top of that, like just young adults, teenagers, like going through life just like everyone else. So yeah, like people just need to remember like there's gonna be up and downs. Like it just happens. It's life, but it's how you choose to handle those. And yeah, that's so I wish I knew that when I was in high school because there were times where I wanted to quit too. I like Melvin Thomas, I love him so much. He just I wanted to quit so many times and he was like, nope. Like he was like, well, you can quit, but and all this stuff. And he would name all these reasons why I shouldn't. I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, you're right. I'm just having a moment, like just, whatever. But he that is one thing, like, I'm so grateful God put him into my life
yeah.
as a mentor and like as like an older brother because he really kept me grounded throughout my basketball journey. And I truly do not think if he was not in my life during the time he was, which was like eighth grade through until he passed, like I wouldn't have played. I wouldn't have played and I wouldn't have had the opportunities and the like all the amazing like things that have happened to me because I have continued playing and being an athlete if he wasn't in my life. So I am so grateful to him and so proud of his legacy.
Yeah, definitely. Legacy would definitely live on. Rest in peace, Melvin Thomas, and all the people that he touched. And I've interviewed several, a lot of people that he have, touched and have made an impact. And that's what it's about, making an impact. We thank you. We spotlighting you, for all your hard work, what you put into the game of basketball, what you're continuing to do. And I know that you're going to be successful at whatever, you put your hands to do, put your heart to do, your mind to do.
Thank you.
May God continue to guide you, govern you, and even may your steps be ordered and he give you favor in your internship and even with your career. May the right job opportunity come your way and you'll know that it's for you and you don't have to worry and you can trust and have faith that God will supply all your needs and be able to put you in a position to, get what you need and what you want and what's best for you can be great.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me on this podcast.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, definitely. And I would love to have you back on. Like we talking mental health and all like that, because it's
I would love to.
a lot more meat on the bone, so we can have a segment about that, and we can like detail it and have it to the order of what we talk about and get different topics and ideas to go on top of that with different things that make it like that. This has been great so far, but I know it was so much that we had to talk about that we can cram it in, so I'm like, I know we're gonna have to do it again, but I really
Yes.
think
Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed this. I really did, and I hope the people that need to hear this do hear it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Olivia Sims.
Thank you.